I always like the old saying, if you work with your hands, you're a laborer. If you work with your hands and your head, you're a craftsman. If you work with your hands, head, and heart, then you're an artist. My name is James. I work at the National Ornamental Metal Museum, and here I'm the Foundry Operations Manager, so I'm taking care of everything that has to do with cast metal, whether it's aluminum, bronze, or iron. And I basically run all the projects and workshops that come through the museum's Foundry. Typically every day we get a full range of requests that come through our Foundry, corporate clients as well as individual clients. And beyond that, inside the Foundry or the wood shop, what we're doing is every day we're making patterns, the original objects that we're going to be casting into metal, or we're making the molds that will be receiving the liquid metal, and then we're doing the different melts. So a lot of what we do in the Foundry is preparation, and in the end we don't know if our final product is good or not until we open that mold in the very end and get to see our finished casting. Being here at the museum, I never quite know what's going to walk through the door. It could be anything from an antique hardware reproduction to a reproduction of an 1800s fence part to odd requests like bronze donuts. We also do a lot of awards here, so it's nice that every day is something different and I'm constantly problem solving. That's what I think most artists are at their base, is problem solvers. So having that ability to see a new project, work it through from beginning to end, you're constantly looking at unique problems that you have to figure out a solution for. So there's no one way that's the most correct way to do something, so you have to kind of find the best fit. So being able to talk with everyone is definitely a benefit. I always said that one of my main strengths is not that I know every answer, it's that when I don't know the answer, I know who to call. Well, I first got introduced to Foundry work when I was in high school. It was a local university that brought their traveling foundry to our school, and we made scratch block molds, which there's a little casting. It's a little tile of resin bonded sand, and then you can scratch a design into it, and then they poured metal right on top, and I had my first metal sculpture. And that kind of stuck with me. When I first got to college, I always tell the story, I was supposed to be an architect, and there were a lot of rules with architecture, and I found myself being drawn to sculpture because I was able to bend and break those rules and still create objects. I went through fine arts programs, so I definitely consider myself an artist, but I definitely also consider a lot of various people that would call themselves craftsmen artists as well. It depends on what you're doing. If I'm doing something that takes a lot of technical expertise, I'm pulling from a craftsman orientation, but if I'm trying to problem solve on the fly, if I'm trying to create an object that has meaning to someone, then I feel like I'm drawing from my heart, which is the artist portion.